have a seat. Folks, I want to thank all of you for coming out here and subjecting yourself to the travail of such a horrible view as this. And to join these two people who obviously just can't stand each other. And to join them on this the most important day, when they take their vows to each other and before the people they love and before God as they know Him. So thank you very much for your kind attention and your presence. This is great. Not only do we have a beautiful view, but we have a canopy. Friends of James, this is a canopy. Friends of Sha, this is a huppah. But we have a huppah that Jerry Garcia himself would be proud of. Perfectly fitting. Perfectly fitting. And why is it fitting? Because this huppah, whether it's traditional or whether it's Grateful Dead, reminds us of shelter. Not only the shelter that the Jews experienced in the desert when they lived in tents, but the shelter that's provided to us underneath the arms of God. Whether you call God Jesus, whether you call God God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even if you call God Buddha, whatever you call God, He'll pick up the phone. He's pretty cool that way. And this huppah represents His arms, and we take shelter under. Not arms that brandish a fist to punish, but arms that brandish an outstretched arm to give us a helping hand, to help us be the husbands and wives that we were born to be. So it's very simple. You each get 2 sets of vows. James, since you're the boy, yes, I've been to school, I know these things. Since you're the boy, you get the vows of interconnection. Because within every boy is a little Homer Simpson. It says basically, it wasn't me. Not my fault. Alright, whoops. Oh, those Simpsons. But the neat thing is, every man has looked into the tear-brimming eyes of the woman he loves and has heard the voice say to him, "It is all your fault." And they're right. Girls are smart that way. They unearth the universal principle of interconnection that transcends all religion. Everything's interconnected. If you were to sit in a jacuzzi with the bubbles off and the lights off on a full moon, you could see the full moon reflected on the surface of the jacuzzi. And wouldn't that illustrate interconnection? That image is dependent upon your eyes, your mind, the water, the atmospheric conditions, the moon, and the sun it reflects. All interconnected. James, you are not a victim. As you go through life, you are the captain of your own fate. You get to choose your actions. You get to choose your words. You get to choose your intentions. And that gives you the opportunity not only to make your life magnificent, but to make your wife's life into the work of art it was destined to be. So James, you have 3 vows of interdependence. And by the way, this test is easy. The answer is I do. First vow. Do you resolve to use, here's the first one. Do you resolve to take this beautiful woman to be your wife?
I do.
Good answer. Do you resolve to use your actions and your communication and your intentions in a way that will serve her best?
I do.
Do you choose now, this is the big one, to rely upon God as you know Him, to rely upon the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, to rely upon Christ as you know Him, to help you do this?
I do.
You got a ring?
I do.
Ring that guy. These are for you. And Louisiana over here.
Hi, Lama Jigme.
Shay,
How are you?
it's your turn. You get the vows of impermanence. The reason is, someone had to point this out to me. You're the girl. Yes. And here's the deal.
Goddess.
Yes, that's you. But of course, and all women, this is all men need to be reminded of interconnection. All women need to be reminded of impermanence. It's so easy. It's so easy to get wrapped up in plans for this month, this year, and this decade, and the children and their college careers and their grandchildren, and have such a big, huge view. It's easy to forget about impermanence and the need to treasure each day and to make James feel so important and so loved and so important every day. Exactly. And impermanence, just like interdependence, is not dogma. It requires no belief. We can watch the passing of the seasons and see the impermanence of a year. We can see the waxing and the waning of a moon and see the impermanence of a month. We can see the rising and now the setting of the sun and see the impermanence of a day. Ever-changing one and all, there is nothing permanent to grasp. So rather than use this neurotically to feed fear or insecurity, we use it to feed gratitude. And this is to make James feel treasure every day. So I've got 3 questions for you.
Okay.
Do you take this hunky man to be your husband?
I do.
Do you resolve to treasure him every day? And in order to do that most perfectly, do you resolve to rely upon the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to do that? You got a ring? Ring that hunk. Is there a glass in the house? Mazel tov. Look at that. Now this is great because we have the vows of interconnection, and you know this glass ain't gonna break itself. It's up to James. Likewise, we've had vows of impermanence. This glass ain't gonna last forever. In fact, it's not gonna see the sunset. So, folks, when James crushes this glass into its next life, everyone with a resounding, with a deep resounding voice shout, Mazel tov, which means both congratulations and good luck. Lay it on. Friends and relatives, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you James and Sha Crossman.
Drinks and refreshments. Follow the fiddler. Oh, yeah.